So we're writing Java programs. Here so next program. So we need to check given number is palindrome number or not. How can you check given number is palindrome or not? So void check palindrome. You give the input, okay? So that input number is a palindrome number or not, you need to check. So what is palindrome number? Write a program to check. Given number is palindrome or not. So palindrome, first you should understand what is palindrome. So palindrome, so number means, so reverse the number first. Okay, so that's the first criteria. So after reverse, if you get the same as a original number, then that is called palindrome number. So you reverse this number. After reverse, if you get the same reversed number and original number, both are same, then that is called palindrome number. So after reverse, if you get same as original, it is called palindrome. Okay. How can you do this? So reverse means, for example, you have a number, so int n equal to 1 to 2 1 3. Now, so after reverse, what is the value?
3 1 2.
3 1 2. Both are same.
No.
So that means 2 1 3 is
not
a palindrome. So now take another example. 1 to 1. Then reverse. So after reverse, what is the value? 1 to 1. So then 1 to 1 is a
palindrome.
Same.
So that is the how you need to find out. But let's see how you can find out how to reverse first. The reverse logic is a very important here. How can you reverse this? So any thoughts? So you need to declare few variables.
Variables. Okay.
So what are those things? Is int. So I want a reminder value and reverse value I'm declaring as a 0, comma 1 temporary variable. So why I declared all these 3 variables? Anybody having idea what we are going to do here? Step 1, this one.
We're going to divide with
Yes. Yes. So divide and get the remainder and store here in this variable. Okay. And reverse, and that you store in the reverse variable. Temporary variable, you store this n value because n value is going to change in the next step. Because why I need to store here? So at the end, once you get the reverse, you need to compare with this temporary variable because temporary variable is going to contain this n value. So the next immediate step is, step 2 is assign the assign n value
to temp.
temp. So temp equal to n. Now, so write the reverse logic. You check. So until n is greater than 0, you keep iterating and change the n value and get each digit from this number. So how can you get each digit from this number?
Divide that with 100 or
Not with 100, but by percentile. Basically, you have to use a mod.
modulo.
So modulo, if you use, that will help you to get each digit from the number. These logics you need to remember. And while n greater than 0, so then fetch each digit from the number using modulo. So that is percentile. This kind of concepts you need to keep in mind so that tomorrow if they any kind of program they give us, you can do easily if you know all these logics, these concepts. So now I want a reminder, I will store here n percentile by 10. So this is the logic to get each digit from the number. Then, so calculate the reverse. How to calculate reverse equal to reverse multiply by 10 plus you add the each digit.
Remind.
So you add the each digit there. That's it. This is the main logic which is going to reverse. Then n value, you get the new n value. So n by 10. So that's it. Now you got the reverse value, you compare now. So reverse equal to
Temp.
Then-
Palindrome.
so you give given number. Is palindrome. So just you want to write that reverse value, write it. Else, you can say
Not palindrome.
not palindrome. That's it. Okay, so call this method and it will check any number you give and it will check. So jp dot check palindrome. So you run now in the debug mode so that you will get a better idea. If you're not running in debug mode, that's going to be a problem. See that it's printing in the same line, right? So what you can do, you bring these all of them into next line. You separate it because here we use the print method, not println. So this all the numbers after you call the println after while loop, for loop, this for loop after, then end of for loop. So then it will end of for loop. End of I'll say not for loop, this method. That's it. See that? You will get a nicely, so that it's a palindrome. And you change here only. It will say simply not a palindrome. That's it. Very simple programs. Next program is, so I want to check given number is Armstrong number or not. What is Armstrong number? So what is mean by Armstrong number means? First we should know that definitions is very important. If you understand the definition, you can easily write the code. So Armstrong number. So what is this Armstrong number is? Cube each digit in the given number and then sum all of them. Then if you get the same as the original number, initial number, whatever you have inputted, then that is called Armstrong number. So what is that?
Cube
So,
of
Cube each
For
digit, every digit, and then
And
sum all of them.
all of them.
So that final output is equal
Equal
to
to
initial number.
Original number.
That is called Armstrong number.
Armstrong.
So cube each digit in the given number, then sum all of them. Get same as
original.
number, then that is called
Armstrong.
strong number. So example, int n equal to 153. So can you tell me what is the steps?
1 cube plus 1 cube plus
1 into 1
plus
plus 5 into 5
5 into 5 into
plus 3 into 3 into 3
So 1 plus
125 plus 2.
plus 27.
right?
Yeah. Yes.
So it's a same. So that's why number is the Armstrong number. But how can we do this? First, again, logic. What is the logic? You have to get each number from this, each digit from this number. How can you get each digit from this number?
Module using module operator.
Yeah, same, right? Just now we used that same one. Okay. Same logic anywhere. This, if you want to get each digit from the number, same logic. It's not going to change. So that logic, first declare the variables. Okay, what are the variables you want? First step one is declare the variables. So what we need, one is a reminder we need, cube value we need. I'll declare a 0 initially, then a one temporary variable. So then step 2, assign the n value to temp. Temp equal to n. So then, so iterate the n value. So while n greater than 0, same as above only, just logic, only reverse cube logic will choose. That's it. Other than that, everything. So rm equal to fetch each digit. Fetch each
digit
from the
given
using below percentile. Okay, so rm equal to n
Module 10.
10. So you calculate the n value also, n by 10.
and
So now cube value equal to cube plus rm,
yeah.
RM.
so cubing each digit.
Yeah.
So previous cube value plus
Reminder each digits.
so then you got it. That's it. Logic is done. Now you compare it. If
Cube
so,
equal
temp value is equal to cube.
Armstrong.
Given number is given number. But I'll put plus temporary variable is Armstrong. That is Q12. Else it's not.
Armstrong number.
That's it. Let's call this JP dot check right and give different number. It's not. Okay. So that's all these programs. And I'll give you one more program. So please, two programs. You take up an exercise and send me that. Okay. First program. So can you make a note? Check given number is neon number or not. Check. Write a program to check given number is neon or not. What is neon? First, you should understand what is neon. So, let me tell you. Write a program to check given number is neon or not. What is mean by neon? So neon means, so given number you square it first. Okay. Given number you square it. After square, then you get the each digit and sum those digits. Sum all the digits in that number. So after sum, if you get the same as a original number, then that is called neon number. Suppose n equal to 9. This is my original number. Okay. Now what is the next immediate step? N
Square.
equal to n.
Square. N.
So square value, you do the square value. Okay. This you can take a square value.
Equal to 81.
So how
81.
much? 81.
81.
What is the next step?
Louis, let it here all the time.
Sum of the digit.
So what are the digits now here in this?
8
plus 1.
8 plus 1.
equal to 9.
So 9. So this after square, the final value. So you got a 9.
9.
So the sum, maybe you can take a sum value, okay? Sum value and this initial value. Both are same or not?
Yeah, same. Both are same.
Yes, sir.
So this is the how you need to write the logic.
Okay.
And one more program. Can you take up another program?
Yes.
Write a program. Write a program. To sum all the numbers in the all the digits of a number. Return the sum of all the digits in the given number. Write a program to return the sum of all the digits in given number.
Sum of all the digits. Okay.
Okay, that's it. Next program. So I want to print prime numbers. How can you print prime numbers in a given range? So what is prime numbers?
Divisible by
Divide.
1 and itself. 1 and itself.
One and itself, right? One and itself. There is no factors, much factors. Okay. That's a prime numbers means. Public void print prime numbers in a range. So I'll give the range. So what are the prime numbers generally? So we have one even prime number, okay? That is 2, 3, 5, 7, 13, 11 also,
11.
13,
17,
17, 19,
19,
so on and so on. Okay. So these are the numbers we need to print. How can we print this? So that's the logic we need to build it. Let's go and do that. First, printing prime numbers from one to range to range. So first use the for loop. Two for loops, it will really help you to print in a range. So always you start with a int I equal to 2 because so 1 is not a prime number. It starts with a 2 only. That's why I less than or equal to range I plus plus. Then you declare, so one Boolean value, Boolean is prime. You check this number. I'm assuming that whatever the I value, I'm assuming that it's a prime number. So then you need to check whether it is prime or not. So int j equal to 2, j less than
I
and j plus plus. And you have to write the condition here. If so I percentile by j is equal to 0, then you set the e is prime to false, then break it. Okay, then break it. So now here, so inner for loop after this loop after, for example, still the condition is not set false. That means that is true. That means it is a prime. E is prime, then print that I value. That I is the prime number. So this is the things you need to do that till all. So we'll see that whether we are getting or not. Let's see. Yes. So you can run in debug mode. So you will get easily, okay? Debug mode if you run, so that it will be easy. The 10 prime numbers are 1 to 50. 20 I'll ask. So 21 to 20 I want prime numbers. So we got all of them, right?
yes.
That's it. So that's a simple logic. We can write it. Next, last program I have to do. So I want to print a pyramid shape. So how can you print a pyramid shape? So what is pyramid shape? So this is the pattern, design pattern we are doing, just a design pattern. For example, star, right? So I want to print this kind of, design pattern. So like this, how many rows you give, that many, so it has to print. So in each row. Okay. So like this. Is this a pyramid shape or not? No, I just tried, but so we will get it properly in the program. So how can we print this pyramid shape? So that's the main thing. See that? Can you see here? Spaces you have to print, then star you have to print. So you see the spaces are reducing. See how many rows you take, that many spaces you print, then print the rows. Star. First, for example, 5 rows, if I take 5 spaces, then print the star. See the row count, that many spaces you have to print. That means outer for loop, then inner 3 for loops you have to take total. So outer for loop and another for loop for printing the spaces. That inner side, one more for loop to print the star. So like this, you have to print 3 for loops, but you have to use a print method only. And this I'm going to achieve with this. I'll input how many rows you want in your pyramid shape, right? How many? So write a program to print pyramid shape design pattern. Okay, so let's go and do that. Public void print pyramid shape. Now, if we see this, you want to print how many rows you want in your pyramid shape. Okay, how many you want in your pyramid shape. So first, I want input from the keyboard, right? So if I want to give an input from the keyboard,
Use
so
scanner.
you have to
Scanner.
click for scanner class. Scanner is COBJ equal to
New
new
scan.
scanner. And
System.in.
so system.in will input the data. Scanner class, you create object and do that. So SCOBJ, and first enter the number of rows you want. Okay? So enter number of rows you want in your pyramid. Next. So int number of rows equal to SCOBJ dot
Next int.
next int method. So I will declare the row count as a 1 initially. Then you start the for loop. So int I equal to number of rows. You have to start with that many spaces if you want to number of rows, and I greater than or equal to 0, I minus minus. So this inside you have to print that many I spaces you have to print. So print I spaces. So to print the I spaces, you have to take one more for loop. Int j equal to 1, j less than or equal to I, j plus plus. So you have to use print method to print the spaces. So one after the other you want, right? That's why print method we have to take. So after this, print the star after a space, after all the spaces. So for int k equal to 1, k less than or equal to row count. So how many rows are there? Row count. What is the row count? That many stars you have to print. K plus plus.
Star.
Okay. So you have to use print method only, not println, print.
Star.
Star you print. So after this, you increment the row count. Row count by 1. So row count plus and bring the cursor to next line. So it will go to next row. So that's all about to print your pyramid shape. Just call this here. So jp dot print pyramid shape. So execute this. See here it's still in running mode. That means your input is required for this thing. Oops, what happened? Some spaces are missing.
Mm.
Okay, I'll give space properly. Okay, now we got it properly. Okay, so this is the how you can print your pyramid shape. So if you want, for example, I want not this one, I want a numbers or row count. What is the row count that I want to print? So you can do this. Just row count, you print it and give some space. Okay, and print method, not println method. See what is the row count? That only will be coming here. First 1, then 2, 2, 3, 3, and that. See that? That's it. Oh, till 6 it came?
Yeah.
It should not come 6, right? We entered 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where is the mistake?
To do less than instead of less than or equal to some.
Just do that. But less than if you do, it won't. Okay, this has to go down, I think. That's a mistake. Let's see now. Where is wrong? Here greater than 0. Yeah, this one. This was making a mistake. So greater than 0, not greater than or equal to 0. Okay. Yeah. So we're good. Any questions? That's all about basics. And I'm going to start now a new topic, that is OOPS concepts. Any questions? Okay. No questions, I'll keep moving. Okay. So unless you're not asking, I won't bother. Right? That's the only thing. If you ask questions only, I'll stop. Where is yeah. So what is OOPS concepts means? So OOPS concepts is object-oriented programming concepts. Object-oriented programming. So basically it's a approach. Okay, it's an approach where everything will be treated as an object. Everything will be treated as an object, and each object has its own behavior and properties. So basically objects will pass messages to each other. One object can talk to other object, and and then whichever the object receives the messages, what it has to do with that message, it will understand. You will write that programming, and each object has the physical structure and what it has to do. That's called, physical structure is called states, and what that object has to do is called behaviors. States and behaviors. Every object is going to have states and behaviors. So an object is an entity that has a states and behaviors. So what the object is going to have? States and behaviors. It's like everything you see in the real world, which is visible to you, it's an object. Like so animals or vehicles or whatever it is. So a person, anything, you can see them in the real world. That real world entities only we are representing in the software. So now dog has a states like age, color, name, behaviors, like it is going to eat, sleep, running, barking. All these are playing with
behavior.
So behaviors of a dog. So state tells us how the object looks, what properties it has. So what properties it has. So behavior tells us what the object does. What the object does. So that's the behavior. Behavior tells us what the object does. So what this object is going to do. So that's the objects means. Actually, when you create an object, the memory will occupy in the heap area memory. So when you can create object only at a runtime. So you can create object only for a class. The class must be there. Then you can create object. If class is not there, you cannot create object. So object is also referred as an instance of a class is called object. So other definition you can give, an instance of a class is called object. Instantiating a class means what? Creating object. Creating an object for the class. Instantiating a class means creating an object for the class. So the important thing you need to remember is when you are creating an object, the reference type should be same type or super type of the object type. So because we are creating class name, reference of object equal to new class name, right? The reference type is same class type, or the reference type can be a parent class also. It can be a parent class or a same class. That's the, so this, the classes and objects. So what are classes? Classes is a template or blueprint from which objects are created. So a cookie cutter, it's a template, right? This is the template. Based on these templates, okay, you're creating the cookies. So that means these are called a class, and these are called objects. See, one class is there, but based on this class, how many we are generating? Based on your need. Based on your need, how many you want. So that means class only one is there, but objects many you can create with the same class. So that is the main concept. So class define the states as an instance variables. How you will define the states of an object? Using instance variable concept. So behaviors, how you can define? Using instance methods. So again, you are getting here methods and variables again. So that's a common thing everywhere you will get. So instance variables also called member variables. And classes don't consume any space when you create a class. But when you create an object, it consumes the memory. So that's it. Let's take a simple class, okay? Cat class I'll create. But how you will represent more than one class, more than one cat? So you, for example, one cat is playing, one cat is sleeping. How you will represent them with one single class? Two different cats, how you will represent in the software?
Two objects.
Two objects. So each object will represent one cat. So each object will represent one object. So they automatically, particular cat related data will go and stored in the one object. Another cat related data will go and stored in the another object. With the same data, we are not going to change this class structure. Class structure is same. Only objects will vary. When you create object, so when you create object 2 times, so each object same, this name and age, color, breed, these values, these parameter values. So these instance variable values, instance variables are same, but values only will change object to object. Instance variables are same for each object. For each object, this instance variable will store in the each object, but values only will differ. So that's the main concept when you're creating object. We already know this, but still I'm going to explain one more time how to create object and what will happen when you created 2 objects. So how it will store the data. So let's go and understand. I'm going to give oops programs, and I'm creating a cat class. So I'll just take quickly. We have so interest of time, I'm going to use this as it is. Okay. So I'll explain you, don't worry, okay? Here I created an instance variables. See, I'm not giving a value. I've just declared the instance variables. Is, name, color, breed. Only instance variables we created and instance methods we declared. How many instance methods? Sleep method, play method.
Play method. Sleep.
So these are the instance methods we declared. Now I want to represent 2 cats. How will represent 2 cats? So create object for
One.
each cat with one object. Create object for cat class, okay? So cat. So here we have 2 different cats. One is Thor,
Sleeping.
another one is Rambo. So what Thor is doing? Sleeping.
Sleeping.
What Rambo is doing? Playing.
Playing.
Right? So represent this. Thor is, so Thor obj equal to new.
Cat. Cat.
So you set the values now. So all these name, age, color, breed, you set it. Thor obj dot name equal to Thor obj dot is giving 3. Thor obj dot
Color.
color. So I'll give brown. So you can, it's a string, right? You have to give double quotes. Or obj dot
Breed.
some name I'm giving, whatever the name I know it from this program only. So, but I want to represent, this is what this is doing, this Thor is doing, what this Thor is doing.
Sleeping. Sleeping.
Sleeping. So I have a method, sleep method. So I can call for that. Now, sir, what will happen if you create one more object? But now this, so I'm giving a name, age, color, breed. I'm calling this. If I create one more object, what will happen to name, age, color, breed values? What will
It will
happen?
create another memory, sir.
Another memory.
It will create
Another
Another
one.
number.
another memory, but name will override, it will be same.
Override.
Hmm?
Below.
Override.
It will override, it will be same.
It will override.
Over.
It is creating different at different places, right?
So that's what people not understanding that concepts at all. The they are told two different objects. But they are saying values will be overridden.
Yeah.
How it will override? This memory is different, right? That memory, all these values will go store. But this memory is different, right? And this memory, these values will go and store for the same variables. And why you are saying it will override? Then your understanding is wrong. Why it will override? Did you question yourself at least? This object is different. This object is different. Why it will override? All these values will go and store there. Still anybody having that confusion? Each object values, for example, unique Q values, if you want to represent, you will go for object creation at runtime. You want to supply different data for each object. Then you are going to use object creation. Each object, that object data that will store in separate partition, separate memory. So this object, this data will go stored in the separate. There is no mix of anything here. Nothing is happening like that. Everybody clear on this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what you want to do? What is this doing? This is doing
Playing.
playing. So call that. So which one you want to represent? You represent that, okay? That's it. So everything will be this memory address is different and this memory address is different. If you want, how can you get the memory address of this? How can you get the memory address of object reference?
Hash code methods.
Hash code method you have to use. You forget that. I already told, right? Our OB is a memory address. So object reference
The hash code.
dot hash code method you have to call. So same you do for the RAM. Rambo object memory address. So that's it. If you want print name, value, and other things, okay? If you want, you can print. Okay, I can call a method. So public void print cat details. I can call a method so directly. How can you call the That's it. So now call here whatever you want. After setting only, I'm calling that. So tar obj dot print
Add details.
add details. So here I'll call Rambo object dot print add details. See these values you will get. For this, these values you get because you are using that reference object to print them. So whatever is there in this memory, that values only you will get. Whatever available in this memory, that values only it will print. Clear now for all of them? Any questions here?
Yes, sir.
So see that. Only those values. Those values. See, this memory is different and this memory is different. Okay.
Sir.
Okay. Thank you. See you tomorrow. We'll see more.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.